Hey people on the Webley Pipes, I'm Mr. Spork and these are Mr. Spork's Hands. You want some Chinese comfort food. We're talking American Chinese, sweet and sour. Everybody loves it. It's not authentic to Chinese anything, but it tastes delicious. To do that, you got to make the sauce. Don't go buy the jar. You can do this super easy. I'm not even going to give you measurements. I'm just going to take a measuring device. Doesn't really matter what size. It just depends on how much you want to make. This stuff keeps forever in the fridge. But here's how you do it. First, you go in with your measuring device and put in 4 measures of plain old white sugar. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doesn't really have to be that precise, honestly. You're going to taste it later to get it exactly where you want it. Then you're going to go in with 1 measure of plain old cornstarch. Just that will do the thickening for you. Good to go. Now you want to do 2 measures of plain old water. 1, 2, you're going to do 1 measure of pineapple juice if you got it. If you don't worry about it. But I happen to have some in there. That's going to go to waste. I'm going to put it in there. 1 more measure of that. Then you're going to do 1 to 1/2, or 1/2 to 1, I should say, measure of soy sauce, depending on how you like it. This is light soy, not dark sauce. I'm just going to put in 1/2 measure there because that's all I want. And then finally, you got to get plain old white vinegar. I'm going to do, if I pour it everywhere, I'm going to do 1. God, I really am pouring it everywhere. What a mess. 2 measures of plain old white vinegar. Again, we're going to taste this in a little bit so you can get it to where you want. And because everybody expects it to be red, I'm going to go ahead and put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drops of plain old ordinary red food coloring. Turn this on, bring it up to heat. I'll show you what it looks like from a texture perspective in just a second. So there you go. This stuff has thickened up nicely after just a couple minutes. Because we started from cold, the cornstarch probably won't cause you any lumping problems whatsoever, although I did switch to a whisk, as you can see, just to make sure. Do taste it real fast to make sure it's where you want. You can obviously add more sugar or vinegar to get more sweet or sour. And as I said before, this stuff keeps forever in the fridge. So keep it handy and you can make an instant dinner. Speaking of dinner, all you got to do is grab some ginger and some garlic, maybe a little bit of heat from some chilies, dice up a bell pepper or 2 and some onion, and then add your protein of choice, whether you want chicken, breaded or unbreaded, beef strips. You can even go deep fry some tofu. It all sweet and sour is just fine. I know a lot of folks these days aren't getting out in the grocery stores and they're trying to avoid contact with people. They're working from the freezers. I'm here to tell you that that's okay. You can sweet and sour just about anything. You can use some of these frozen pre-breaded chicken strips. Just make sure you read the label and it's a good quality product. That works. If you've only got frozen vegetables, frozen green beans, that works too. I'm going to use both of those and make a real quick stir fry. Show you guys that it's just that easy. You can do it too. So there you go. Once you have the sauce, you see it comes together really, really fast. When you're starting out with the ginger, chili, and garlic, make sure that that hits hot oil so the flavors bloom through the whole dish. When you're adding the sauce, thin it with just a little bit of water, as I did, just to make sure it spreads through the dish evenly. And hey, in these times, if you're working from the freezer and all you got is frozen vegetables or frozen chicken tenders or frozen tofu, whatever you got to use, in a sweet and sour context, it will probably work because that sweet and sour sauce just covers everything. So there you go. Dinner in a hurry. I do appreciate you liking and thumbs up and tweety book spacing and all that crazy social media stuff that you do. Until next time, I'm Mr. Spork. These are Mr. Spork's Hands. Now I'm going to go make some sweet and sour chicken. Cheers.